reached out to Hassan to pull him onto the platform because they needed a political ideology that is safe for them. They needed some political daddy. And they knew Young Turks is like a good move for them. I don't know. And so he was failing in the beginning, but eventually he got the wheels going. But the moral of the story is you don't with that guy. That guy destroys lives. That guy literally plays badminton with all the top admins. They are literally in cahoots. I said this to you. I said this to Adin. I want to see our political side win too. So I say it to you guys. I'm like, guys, you don't mention Pokey. You don't mention Hassan because they don't. I don't know about Pokey, but Hassan don't play fair.
But what I realized watching Hassan stream, and this is my belief system, I've always said, and this is why I made God Pill podcasts, I always think faith transcends politics. And what I realized watching his stream is he has that guilt that every born Muslim has when they leave, someone who grew up that way. That's not a sub at you, but he has that because you found faith. What I can see when he speaks, that faith transcends politics. Politics is what we do for money. Politics is something that we can talk about. It's interesting. It's entertainment at the end of the day. We pretend, a lot of us, like we act like we really have control, but ultimately a lot of it is just entertainment. Even in the presidency, you can see Trump and Zelensky. So I'm watching his podcast, and I can see the way he resonates when I say, when I'm defending Ramadan. He has it. You could tell this guy is a Muslim. So I think that's where
I don't know, he wears a dress. He wears a dress, bro.
Yeah, but that's politics. Like, that's same thing. Like, I was joking around throwing up Romans with Myron. That's the same thing. Like, that doesn't represent my faith or represent me, but it's like that's the political side, a dress and a salute, right? But what's really you at your core is your faith, and he has it. The guy he's from Turkey. You could tell he knows everything. I think he knows some
I'm going to say, Steve, I'm going to save you a bunch of time and make sure you don't look dumb right now. I know Piker better than anyone. Deep down, behind closed doors, he fucking hates organized religion more than anything. He thinks Muslims hate gays. His whole ideology is left-leaning wokeism. You could not be any more wrong. And what's crazy is you're falling for his looks where he looks Muslim or whatever. He hates his kind. That's why he's not welcome back to Turkey. He'll go to prison if he lands there for a day. I'm not hating on the guy. He said this.
But look at the way he's so vocal about Palestine. That's because he's Muslim.
No, that's not why.
It's all political?
Yeah, he hates colonial white powers, and he includes the Zionists in this colonial white paradigm. Kind of like you when you were being liberalized.
When was I liberalized? What are you talking about?
You had a phase a few months ago. You had a whole beef with all the red pill.
All I did was defend all I did was defend Haiti, and everyone lost their mind.
Honestly, you did the right thing. If you didn't defend your own place, that would have looked whack.
Yeah, I know. And then they called me a liberal because I defended the place that my family's from. The point is I could.
It's a little gay to not admit, let's say you come to my country and it's a third world. If you're not going to make third world jokes with me, if ZHERKA gets offended, then ZHERKA is not for truth. You know what I mean? And so it's like, bro, you got to make jokes still. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, have they ate the cats or not?
Well, they weren't eating cats in America. That story was false. The one that Trump spread around, that wasn't a black American woman. That was the whole point.
Yeah. It is interesting that you said, I do feel bad for you because when you talk about, religion superseding politics, that's not how the world works anymore. Now it's politics.
Well, I'm not talking about the world. I'm talking about your soul. The world operates, politics directs the world more than faith right now, but people's core beliefs, faith always supersedes politics. And I can see it with Hassan too.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, you picked the most atheist dude in the game, most agnostic thinker. even Destiny's closer to religion than Piker.
Come on, there's no way that's true.
No, that's not. You know why that's not cope? Because Destiny doesn't offend the gays as hard as Piker. Like, Piker will he will fight everything in the world to get that LGBT paycheck, which is the biggest paycheck in the game. If you guys think he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart, the guy's born into like a $50 million home, you know, a very, very liberalized home.
But I was watching him and I realized it's kind of the same thing on the right. You know, the same way right wingers feel the need to defend white supremacy all the time because they know that this core group that you can mobilize. Hassan's doing the same thing with the gays. It's the same exact ideology. You defend this, even though he knows it's wrong, he's defending them because they make for a loyal audience. Exactly the same way right-wingers will mobile and say, like, you know, talk about Mexicans, talk about third worlders, call Muslims terrorists, because they can mobilize the white supremacists. It's the same
Piker,
group soul.
Piker, listen, I know Hassan very well, right? Ask anyone. He doesn't do it to have a strong audience. That's a byproduct of it. But he's such an elitist in his mind. And, you know, I don't claim to know what people are thinking, but I know this guy. And he's such an elitist in his mind that he doesn't care about the popular thought in public. He cares about the Hollywood thought. That's why all of his social values, everything he believes in, aligns with Hollywood. There's nothing, besides the Zionist thing, there's nothing.
That's a pretty big
else.
besides. That's the ADL attacks him.
Here's the crazy thing. If you've ever hung out with him in person, that's all he talks about is trying to run into these Hollywood celebrities at parties, and he's obsessed with like a meeting at Matt Damon. And, you know, like you and I, we joke around about Brad Pitt. He actually believes that he's going to be in dinner tables with these guys if he goes hard enough with the left-wing shit. And, you know, honestly, he is kind of close. He's in L.A. Joe Rogan didn't accept him. Joe Rogan left L.A., but he's kind of there. He's in the social bubble, but he's definitely not in the Hollywood bubble. And the only way he can penetrate into that is by, you know, guilt-tripping politics and all this shit. And, yeah, it's sad that he's got, like, one good take, Palestine, and everything else is rotten. It is sad because it's like, bro, you're a communist. You're supposed to believe in some... You know,
then why is he then why would he, after so many beefs, say that he watched my Ramadan isn't just skipping lunch video and say that he agrees with it? Why would he call me talented?
He called you talented because he wants to signal to people, hey, this guy is still a somebody, meaning you can still be a somebody with the wrong thoughts. He's trying to say pretty much that's how SNEAKO got his name, to not lure young kids to becoming mini SNEAKOs, right? It's just like how he would say this about, let's say, Nick. He says, you know, Nick is talented at what he does, at debating. He says this about Nick, and then he'll do a whole smear campaign against him.
But he won't agree with any of those people. Like, he agrees with my Ramadan take. He said he watched the video and he agreed with it. I've never seen that.
Which part?
He said he agreed with my whole Ramadan video when I was talking about how Ramadan is about prayer, remembrance of God, how it's much, you know, the Taraweeh prayers, the nightly stuff. He said that he watched it and agreed with it. That's the type of stuff where he doesn't gain. Whenever a streamer, like Adin's a good example, defends someone like me where they don't gain from it, his chat hates when he defends me. But he said that because faith is at his core and he can't help himself. You know, if he was purely a grifter, if he was purely a liar, he would just shit on me more. But he had to admit that he resonated with that.
Wow, that you are being way too charitable. That guy put you, Adin, everyone else on a blacklist. He's the reason.
Yeah, I know that's true, but my point is that I could see that.
Like,
I think he has faith. That's my point.
You don't understand. Everyone thinks that Hassan just went to Twitch, la-di-da-di-da, when he was poor. He was like not making good money. His career was, you know, not going anywhere for 29 years of his life. And then Twitch calls him, and they're like, hey, we have this ZHERKA guy, and we joined the exact same weeks. And I'm fucking dominating until I start getting banned. But, man, bro, when they added him to the, you know, A team, they didn't know, Twitch didn't know what their politics was. So they're like, hey, Hassan, we want you to take a lead. And he came in very liberalized with the Destiny on him. Then he went very left-wing, and the Twitch loved that, right? And you got to just understand that that blacklist, here's how it happens. He doesn't go into a room with them and says this, this, this. They're literally in his chat, and he makes a comment like, Adin has to evolve tremendously to come back. Twitch doesn't really need him, and all he does is talk, 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 and that's the final saying, because that's why they invited him to the platform, to keep it a family-safe platform. And let's be real, dude. It's like, I said this 2023, no one believed me. Now, you, Adin, you guys better start believing me. If Adin wants to get on Twitch, bro, you know how much he has to change to go back to Twitch. Here's how much. It's happened to a lot of people before. You have to change so much that your viewer count and your core base goes away. They want you a weak in form, because if Adin comes with a bunch of vitality and a lot of viewers, he can start swaying opinions. He can start, right?
Yeah.
They want you in a weakened form to join them. That's why I say it's a no-go. It's a no-go. Or else, you know...
No. I think you're mistaken. You're thinking...
Train's not even there.
I think you think that I'm trying to go to his side. I'm trying to recruit... I want to recruit the Free Palestine people to my side.
After you called out the CEO, clearly you don't give a fuck. Because they take that very personal. It's like YouTube is personal, but Twitch is very, very personal. And here's the truth about Twitch is, if you just do your regular content, they do leave you alone. I'm not a paranoid guy where I think they're always out to get you. If you do your own thing in your own corner, they leave you alone. But as soon as you want more views saying something like, oh, there's only two genders, and you mean it because you believe it, they're going to stop your right to freedom of thought, right? And that's why you don't really care about it, but I don't think you could ever be on there, although I think you would have dominated that. I told you that a long time ago. Adin, I don't even see it in this year, bro. That's because if he does come back, how fast until he gets banned, right? Does he have good impulse control? And I'm way older than him, and I have trouble with that. Imagine Adin. He's like 23, right?
So okay, no, he's 24. What advice do you have? Because you've been analyzing for months. What advice do you have for where I'm at, and then and for Adin as well?
Well, I don't have advice for you guys. You guys are bigger than me. What the fuck?
No, I'm sure you've noticed things that you're not saying.
Well, to be honest, Adin shouldn't give up trying to go back to Twitch, but he should realistically see that they want him back with a smaller army. They see his army as being like a CX kind of mob, right? And Adin is a content creator, so he's gonna be like, fuck that, bro. Like, he's used to doing big shit or big views or whatever. So, hey, if you want to go limping in a weakened form back to Twitch, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. I think it'd be awesome if he did that. And then, but here's the problem: when he rebuilds, is he gonna have the impulse control to not get banned again? And does he really want the judges floating over his head with a million clips they can react to of him saying something out of pocket? Just makes his life hell. And it's tough for him. What would you do if you're him? Like, nobody knows.
I think
would you weaken yourself?
I don't think it's about weakening, but it's about...
No, bro. Hassan said it on his stream that he wants Adin to out the core audience that are neo-Nazis or whatever.
It's very smart for him to do that. He gets pressure from the ADL.
Oh, bro, Hassan got Destiny off that bitch, and Destiny was the liberal champ until they went very left. So, sometimes I think, though, why can't Adin do any other platform? Like, why doesn't he do YouTube?
He could, but I don't even think it's about Twitch. I think it's about the blackball. I think it's about the reputation. And being banned on Twitch, it gives you the reputation that you're a brand risk cancel guy. He just wants to get rid of that reputation.
Right, because of the collaboration.
Yeah.
I remember having this problem where they cut out all your friends, where you can hang out with your friends in the shadows, but you can't actually create with them.
Exactly. And that type of stuff really fucks with them.
Yeah, well, look at Train. He's more moderate than you or Adin, I guess, in speech. I don't know, but I think he's more calmed down now, and even Train's not on Twitch, right? So
No, he still is.
if you ever have-
Train still has Twitch. He hasn't streamed in like 8 days, but I think he goes on Twitch sometimes.
It is interesting to me though. It's like, wasn't everyone talking about how once you get all this, bro? I'm happy with the money I make. Imagine fucking 50 million, right? 50 million in crypto. Wouldn't that, like, let's say they unbanned Adin tomorrow? Would he really have the fire to keep going?
I think so.
Right?
I think so.
I don't. I really don't. Because, like, think about it, bro.
No, I know he does because crypto's ETH is down and he wants to make money.
No, bro. You can see in the way Adin slouches and stuff. Look at it. Study human behavior when they're like this. He has waves of energy, mania, and then it disperses. Doesn't have a father figure in his life. I mean, like a coach figure. Doesn't have anything. Just. Do you remember when he first started? When you first started? When I first started? There's this youthful energy of I have to make it.
Yeah.
Before I even have a girlfriend or a life, I have to make it. That whipping energy is so real. But man, someone hands you $50 million in crypto. That whipping energy can only be sublimated to a coach, because now you literally can't do it on your own, because Conor McGregor has trouble with it. Adin, anyone who gets these big bucks gets fucking shit-faced destroyed. And think of Adin's friend group. If he had 10 guys that move like you know, like you're a high-functioning type A personality, he would have to absorb so much of that electricity from around him. He can't be around depressed kind of people. Like, I like Condi, I don't mind him, but he's kind of slouched. Slouched people, they're not in the boardroom, bro. They're done. They destroy your life. And, bro, energy is shared. Energy is SNEAKO's energy was low until he had gone on this call with me. Energy is shared between homies, bro. And you cannot have these, like, bro, I'm sorry, but this is going to hurt your boy. But the dumbest thing was hiring a bunch of retards like cheesers. And because, bro, if you're going to hire people that cannot be popular so they don't take away from your fame or whatever the fuck you're trying to do with that business model, which is retarded, that's fine. But get 10 cheesers that have energy. Like, why do you get that fat-ass sweater? And, bro, it's like Shaq chose his
Sweater's
friends.
not that fat. He just
It's
called me, too. I
horrific.
need to call him. Sweater's not that fat.
Bro, you can look at your wolf pack. You can even look at the guys you used to, let's say you went to pick up chicks. You can see which friend group is the best energy for that. Now look at the groups of friends you have for streaming or YouTube. You can actually see the faces. You can, you know what I mean? You think of Arab, you think of Yassine, you think of SNEAKO, you think of ZHERKA, right? You think of these, dude, who the fuck thinks a sweater? They got, like, let's be real. Adin must be a drug addict. Why would he choose such a fucking useless team? And you think having one SNEAKO is going to level him up? Hey, 10 fucking people with that kind of energy. One SNEAKO is not enough.
It's hard to find 10 SNEAKO. I don't know. You don't operate the way I operate. I don't know a lot of people with my level of work output.
No, bro. Your work output goes way higher when you're around Myron.
Yeah, that's true. You know, me and Myron are up until 8 a.m. recording a JFK video. Like, I don't have anyone like that.
I'm telling you, that's why I was proud of you in the winter time. I'm like, how the fuck is he doing it? I thought he's getting revitalized by Fresh and Myron, but he's doing it in New York alone. Look at that. And then as soon as I saw you in Miami, I'm like, oh, that's good. But then you didn't even do a Fresh and Fit.
I'm doing it on, oh, shit. We got
That's
something.
not how this works. You're supposed to have done 5 by now. That's how energy bounces, bro.
Well, I have it already. I don't need other people to get it right. I was alone in New York for 3 months in the fucking cold doing this shit by myself. I don't need anyone.
Well, I'm not saying you go on Fresh Fit to farm clips or anything. Just you sit down there and absorb Myron's energy, then give it back to him. That's it.
That's what we did last night. I was helping him out with the studio, fixing his cameras and stuff. He was helping me with the JFK video. You know, it was 4 a.m. and like I told him I need to eat food before fast time starts. Let's get food, and then boom, we just start working. That actually, yeah, last night is a perfect example of that happening. That's a good point.
If I were you should build a corner, because if Hassan and this left-wing mob isn't going to let you and your buddy Adin in, then you have 2 choices. 1, give up. You lost. You're a fucking loser. Or 2, build the corner with the people you don't want to build, which means the red pill guys, which means Myron, which means SNEAKO, which means Myron, SNEAKO, Adin,